was reading that they have looking at their dog and they like how it sighs. Oh yeah, you're a little freeloader. You got a rough life. What seems to be your problem?
I don't think dogs have emotions. I think they just like do things because of the reactions that they get.
Oh, I think they have emotions or whatever. But
I don't know.
They you can see when the owner's gone or something, then you see them, they're kind of
well, yeah, but that's because like main provider left.
Yeah, even if there's other people around and still providing for him, he just misses.
But the main one's gone. Like that's my stability just walked out the door.
Yeah, well,
that's what it is.
It's kind of like
primary food source.
Well, exactly. He's like, nobody's going to give me that treat no more.
Nope.
I like them treats.
Are they going to know?
All of a sudden, his ears picked him. His ears popped up, and it was like treat. He's like, "Whoa, like that."
Oh yeah, he's a good dog, man. He really is. He's a great dog. If he hadn't been like traumatized by that other dog fighting him, he'd be a perfect dog. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, I like freaking.
But he can get pretty grumpy, dude. He can, yeah. He can, and he doesn't really do anything. He mostly just makes noise and scares the shit out of dogs.
Why?
I don't know, because if they get close and he doesn't know them or doesn't like them, which he doesn't like any new dog that he's met since he got attacked. Like,
I don't like cool. I don't like a lot of new dogs.
Yeah, but he's cool with dogs that like he already knew. I'm gonna move this a little bit.
Why?
Because it doesn't pick up right. It's like kind of fading in and out a little bit.
Fading in and out. Why?
Yeah.
It's just kind of rude that it does that.
For our sound guy.
Oh yeah, I had a sound guy one time.
Well, you're the sound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, true. I mean,
difficult for him. You.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't worth a shit, so I got rid of him.
Now we don't have one.
Now we don't even have one. I'm just doing it. I'm just like winging it, Yeah. But so what's Rickon been going on this last week or so with you? Anything?
Not much. I am gonna get that SUV back on Monday, hopefully.
Monday? Oh, they're working on it.
They're should be done with it on Monday.
Oh yeah. So you went in and talked to them, and they're cool.
When they took the heads off and shit to look at it to see if it was gonna be. Because without taking them off, they said it was $3,500. And then they said when they took them off, if there was more damage, it could be as high as $5,500.
Yep.
And he said when they took them off, there was no damage at all.
Perfect.
Nothing. Looked great. So they got that. And then when they got it all back together and they fixed everything that was wrong with it, they started it, and the air conditioner compressor was making just a fucking stupid noise, like a whang underneath the hood.
Yep.
So I mean, it was still working and everything.
Yeah.
It was, and they were like, we could replace that too while we got it. And I'm like, how much is it? Like $300 to $400.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's part, and then it takes us like an hour, and then they're fucking slammed. So, but they got it there. I went in, talked to them and everything, and should be another $300 to $400 because we're pretty much paid up. I think they ended up only charging me $3,000 instead.
Shit!
Yeah, instead of the $3,500. And I'm definitely. It was Big E Auto in Mitchell, and I would definitely take my other vehicles.
Seems like they did once they started working on it. They turned it around pretty quick.
Oh yeah. Once they got it in, and because they wanted to make sure they had a good portion of the money, because it wasn't going to take them that long to fix it. A couple days.
Yeah, they don't want to get it done and sit and wait six weeks with just sitting out there. Yeah, or something.
Yeah, and then he was compiling. Part of it was he had to compile the bill, because he had to put every part individually on the bill so that he could send it to the warranty company. They needed an itemized bill. So he's like, so I'm putting that. He's got this fucking stack of papers. He's like, I put all these on there, and he's like, so he's doing that, and it's a younger guy. Most of the guys that work there are younger dudes, and the place is super busy, so they must be doing a pretty good job.
Well, yeah.
I think.
That's good. I mean, hey, at least that's a step forward.
I put
You
that
got,
in the water
I don't know what you did. But
on the floor.
yeah, on the floor,
Yeah.
just like the rest.
Boom.
Yeah, but they, but yeah, that's good. At least that's going to be taken care of, and then you guys will be happy again.
Yeah, and then we just got to get the brakes fixed on the van and figure out what's wrong with the Sonic. And once we get the van fixed, we'll have a backup vehicle. It's got a high miles, but it's been really dependable. I mean, I stay up to date on oil changes and shit. That's a big thing,
Yep.
Don't drive the piss out of your car unless it's like Japanese car, in which case most of them are made to just run on fucking mud.
Yeah.
So you can do that with those, but I wouldn't. And if you stay up to date, like that van's got 230,000 some miles on it and still runs super nice. No issues, no noise in the motor or anything. I mean, it's a pretty good car. I mean, yeah, I got really lucky with that. I bought that one at Buster's in Mitchell when he first started for like $6,000 or something. It was well worth it, dude.
The only thing that going on, I guess, me during for vehicles or whatever is a buddy of mine. I've done some work for him on his car and stuff like that, and he owes me a little money, but nothing I'm worried about, nothing big or whatever. But he got hold of me and said that he had come across a drag pack for my car, and I'm like, okay. And he says, maybe if you like it, we can take it. I'm like, all right, come look, I'll check it out. See.
Well, you gotta at least look at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I say, I'm interested. I mean, hopefully it'd be what I need.
Scruffy's not fucking interested in it.
No, you don't give a fuck.
You literally come to the fucking show and just nap every time, dude.
Yeah,
I zoomed in. You can't really see Scruffy, but the way it was zoomed out, you can't really see this, like, appreciate the tapestry, It should be the background. I really like it as a background. Shout out to Cloud9 in Mitchell also. A lot of places in Mitchell are doing pretty good, I guess, as far as my life's going.
Yeah.
I'm finding good places to go for stuff that I need in life, which is nice. It's part of, becoming self-sufficient, is finding places that you like to take your stuff and get stuff done.
Yeah. It's not just like wherever you can, or wherever you have to, or whatever will. I mean, when you get to a certain... You start building and getting to a point where you're just like, okay, this is the place. This is what I want. This is,
like Big E Auto. That just so happened to be the place that could look at the SUV the same day. And I needed it looked at that day because it sounded rough. And sure as shit, it was, $3,000 worth of, damn it.
Well, like I say, any more $3,000 is, isn't that much work, to be honest.
They charge a lot for labor because, I mean, fucking nobody knows how to work on cars anymore.
Nope.
So what are you going to do, jackass?
You're kind of screwed. You got to take them there.
It's about $200 an hour.
Yep.
And if they do good work, I mean, fuck, dude.
Yep.
I think it's worth it. But they let me just park that SUV there, and then I told them that I would be in, this day every week and make a payment. And I was in that day every week to make a payment. They didn't charge me a storage fee or anything like they could have. I think their storage fee is like $9 a day.
Yep.
They didn't charge me shit for that. They worked with me. They were nice. They're nice people.
Well, I think that's 90% of the deal. Of you hear all these people, they complain about, well, these guys ain't good. They didn't work with me, and some are. I mean, I'll give them that, but I think for the most part, it's you didn't follow through on your end.
Yeah,
either, you know what I mean. And if you didn't follow through on your end, then yeah, you can't complain that they didn't follow through on theirs, or they're charging you this, or it's
a busy business. I mean, you got how many other people coming in cash in hand?
Exactly.
stuff done.
Yeah.
You can offer to work with a few people here and there, but
Yep.
you can't do it all the time. Your whole place will be filled up with people making payments.
Exactly. Well, and you can, but if the guy doesn't make the payment, or if
Yeah.
I'll be in every week like you know, which, you know,
And
that's cool.
you can't pick up your car until you've paid.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't,
You know.
you can't expect somebody, like if you own the business and somebody say, hey, you know, I'll come in every week and I'll pay the bit, you know, pay a little bit and do what I can. And well, let's say it's $3,000 bill and he starts paying $50. He's there every week, but he's only paying $50. At some point, you guys say, dude, come on. I mean,
I paid. I think the lowest I paid was $225, and the highest I paid was $400.
yeah. Well, and that's like I say, then you're like, okay.
I was.
Yep.
Yeah. I wanted,
Plus, you were there basically the same time every week.
Mhm.
You know,
right
the same
before
day.
work or
Yep.
first break.
Yep.
Right. In
So
there,
you're always there, and
2 to
that
4.
was that's something too. Of, you know, like again, if you own the business and a guy's, oh, I'll be in, make the payments, and I'll be in, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and you know, telling you all this stuff, and then you don't see him for 3 weeks, and then he comes in, makes like $500 payment, cool, and then you don't see him again for 3 weeks, a month, and you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, how are you supposed to work with that? You know what I mean? But if somebody's consistent, somebody's does exactly what they say, all right, you know, cool, dude.
Oh,
I can work with this guy. I could do a lot for this, you know, because he's just trying to get by. You know, he's doing everything right.
Yeah, and I understand that my vehicle is taking up a spot on their lot. Like,
oh yeah,
and that is another opportunity for money.
Yep.
And stuff. You know, so I'm trying to get it paid and out of there as fast as I can. We were shooting for like $300 a month, which was it made shit real tight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then I had taken a loan from my mom for that car, so she paid half of that, and then she had to give us another loan because we got just hosed on that, and we didn't have. You should have at least $1,000 saved up for emergencies, and we didn't have dick saved up. So that was my fault. I overspent on that fucking vehicle, and that left us out. But we're gonna pay that off, and it's like, I think it's $5,200. So if we make $200 payments every week, we can have that paid off in 6 months.
Oh yeah.
And then we can save up our $1,000 emergency fund, and then save up for other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, you got to look at things
in
long term. You know, like we can't just do shit this month, you know, or next month or whatever. We want to do stuff this year.
Yeah.
And then next year we could maybe do this, and you know, you got to build up slowly, and people are, myself included, people are raised, you know, the way everything's just right in your face, right within arm's reach all the time. You can just order it and have it delivered. It's instant gratification, and people they're not comfortable with long-term saving and planning.
Well,
that's a big part.
It kind of came with me. It seemed like, you know, if I think back and going through life, I just thought it was natural, you know, that you start doing that stuff. Like, take for instance, when you're a kid, you know, I mean, real little kid, elementary school, kindergartner, maybe even a little younger. What you're concerned about is, what are you doing after school?
Yeah.
Right. That's your thing. That's your main thing, is you're planning for after school. I mean, that day. Okay. Now, when you get older or whatever, let's say high school, you're planning on the weekend. So you know, change it from a day to a week out. Well, after you get out of high school, you go to college, or you know, get your job and you're 22 years old or whatever. Yeah. You're still planning for the weekend a little bit, but you're kind of planning on a month out, that one concert you're going to go to.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, now,
but then
now people stay.
Oh yeah,
at that point where they're planning for the weekend, they just fucking
I know.
stay there.
But like I say, for me, I just say it seemed natural for me.
At what age did you go from planning for the weekend to planning for a little bit?
I don't know, probably 20, 21. You know?
Fuck, see, no, nobody does that.
Yeah, and then
Everybody I know nowadays, even all the way up through their there's people in their fucking 60s that are still just like, woo, Friday.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I set things up, but I mean, that's not something I really plan for, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, this is going to happen, cool, but they
go out and get shit-faced every weekend. That's all they do.
But then, you know, I got older, you get up, you know, late 20s, you know, 30, whatever, and you start planning, you know, you got a family or whatever, or at least you know, married, or you got a long-term girlfriend or whatever.
35 is when.
So then I'm planning a year out that next year I would like to, or 2 years from now I would like to, you know. Well, once you hit 35, 40, right, and all of a sudden you're planning on 5 years out, you know, 5 years from now, this is where I'm going to be. This is what I need. And then once you're 40 and up,
dude, I turned 40 this year, and I just started thinking yearly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. For me, it's natural because like 40 up, I've been thinking of, you know, 10, 15, 20 years out.
Yeah.
You know, of where I want to be and how I'm going to get there. And that's where people are getting screwed up, is they're worried about what they're going to do this year and not realizing, hey, what am I going to do 30 years from now? Well, it's 30 years from now. Don't worry about it. No, you need to worry about it now. You know, not worry, but plan. Make good choices now for it ends up being good in the future, and then you can chill. You know, when it comes, everybody's going to get to a point, either they're going to retire, right? And if you don't retire, you end up dead. Well, your family's going to need something.
Yeah.
So whether you're not planning for your retirement, really, you're planning for your retirement or your family's security.
Yeah.
That's what you're planning for.
I'm catching this knowledge like at the fucking wire, dude.
Yeah.
I believe that I can work through the age of 65, 25 years.
Yep.
And still build up a 401k and retire and shit. I believe I can still do that.
You can.
But I'm probably going to push it to like whatever the late Social Security thing is, like 67 or 68, whatever that one is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably going to push it to that one just so we get that little bit of extra money, and I really like working.
And I think they figured it out, a little bit of talking about retirement or whatever, but the thing that I've looked into years ago was something that's like, if you retire at 62, right?
Whoa. Yeah.
You get a smaller amount. Yes. If you retire at 67, you get the maximum amount or something along that lines, whatever it is. But what it is, it's all based on I think it's like 75 years old.
Yeah.
At 75, either one you take, it's the same amount of money at 75.
I think I heard this on it's a like Republican news show or some shit. It's like the Ramsey show podcast or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's a financial thing. Yep. And I listen to that sometimes because I don't know anything about financial stuff. I'm so stupid when it comes to...
That wouldn't be Gordon Ramsay either. That's more of something else.
No, it's more cooking.
Even though he is a very, financially intelligent individual.
Yes. Well, he's really talented chef.
Well, and he
turned that into...
He turned that in. That's what I'm saying. Success. He's very smart. Yeah. He didn't only... Some people are just like... He could have been an amazing chef, great chef, and been fine his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he took it further. And because he had, you know what I mean? Because he was, and he desired to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that guy. Of course, I like it when he yells at people because I like yelling at people,
and he says fun phrases that I'm not used to hearing.
Oh yeah. But he don't bullshit nobody either. He fucking he tells it the way it is.
Yeah, you don't have to wonder.
I mean, there's no question. I mean, it's not like he says something and you're like, what did he mean? You fucking know damn well what he meant right fucking now. He wasn't playing a fucking game.
Now, what in the hell were we talking about a minute ago?
Anyway, financial, about retirement.
Yeah. He said if you would take the lower amount when they offer it to you earlier and just save that money and invest that, because I think it comes out to like $50,000 or something like that. If you would just save that and invest it instead, you could turn that into like $1 million by the time
You can.
you get to like late retirement.
You can, but it all, when you get that old, not that old, but you know what I mean?
You're
When you
not
get that age,
guaranteed.
you got to be
know.
careful.
Yeah.
Because if something happens like COVID again, or something happens along like, what was it, 2008 and 9, when the economy took a
Housing
huge,
market.
yeah, just crash.
Yeah, the housing bubble.
If
popped.
something like that happens, like a year after you retire and you got all your money in investment, boosh, all of a sudden then a week later you got like a quarter of what you had. Now what do you do? So
Yeah, you don't have the time to wait for it to
no,
build back
you
up.
don't, because
Yeah.
it might build back up 10 years later, but 10 years later, okay, you're 77 years old and you don't, now what?
Well, now you can at least get it out and give it to your family.
Yeah.
You know, before you
walk,
fucking croak.
take a nice slow walk in the field, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it,
Where you going, Grandpa? I just gotta go check something over here. You go watch cartoons.
when you gonna be back? Don't wait up for me.
Don't you worry about it.
Don't
Just
wait up
go
for
to
me.
bed.
Yeah, I'll be fine. But it's definitely something that, you know, when you can be in like a high risk thing like now, up until like 8 or 10 years before you're about, maybe even a little longer, depends on how much risk you want to put, but you can be into like a high risk where you know it'll fluctuate a lot, but when you gain the maximum amount that you're going to be able to. Once you get within 5 years for sure, or you know what I mean, and start shrinking it down of like retirement and stuff, you got to start thinking about maybe putting it in something more stable where it's not going to fluctuate so much. You're not going to make huge gains, but even if the market crashes, you're only going to lose a small percentage instead of a huge percentage if you were in risk.
So the way I was doing mine when I worked at the hog barn, I was putting 50% into the mid range, and then I was putting 25% into the high and 25% into the low.
Oh, I just maxed it all out. I put it in the high risk, fucking everything I could.
Oh,
I
shit.
maxed it, and then thing is, I forget about it. I don't even pay attention what it is. When the statement comes, just throw it in a pile. I mean, what do I care?
Yeah.
It's not my money yet. So it is, but it isn't. So I just maxed it out. Don't worry about it. Is what it is. And I'll figure it out at the end. Either I'll have it or I won't. Right.
All right.
There ain't nothing I can do about it.
Fuck that. I would need that money.
Well, like I say, if I have it, put it this way, you might need the money, but let's say things don't go as planned and you don't have it. Then what? Nothing you can do. So
Yeah, don't rely on it. I suppose that's good advice.
yeah, you don't worry about it. You don't like, oh yeah, I got this, and because the moment you start realizing, let's say you put it in, and for some reason things go well, and 5 years from now is, let's say, something ridiculous like you got $400,000 in there, right? All of a sudden you're like, okay, I got 400. Well, you know, I could probably, you know, I don't need to be putting that much in because it's already that much and it's going to grow a little bit. So, you know, actually I really want, and then you're going to pull money out and lessen what you're contributing, which is not a good deal.
Never pull money out.
No,
You get
that's why I say
fees and
don't
all this
even
other
look
shit.
at it. Don't even look. When the statement comes,
if you're
just give
looking
it.
at it at all, you know, move it around in the thing itself.
Oh yeah, but
You know.
you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you do stuff like that. You know, definitely talk to somebody
Yes, smarter than you.
that's definitely smarter than me. Yeah,
Well, no, and smarter than whoever's doing
Yeah.
it as well.
Well,
I mean, no matter how
it
smart
doesn't-
you think you are.
it doesn't take very much to get smarter than us. But
Well, yeah, exactly.
because
But yeah, always try and find somebody smarter, give you another angle on it. you know?
Oh yeah. And it's like I say, the deal is I got started, one of the first jobs I had, the boss, owner, you know, I had to work there a year. I think it's like standard. You had to work there a year, you know, and then you could contribute. And then he just came out, and I was literally out working. I was working fucking middle of summer, fucking 95 degrees. He just walks up to the machine and fucking hands me a paper and says, "Here, if you want to go." And I told him I was like 19. I was like, I don't fucking know anything. I mean, I'm 19 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like that's 50 years from now. What the fuck, you know?
What do
I give
me $1 million?
Yeah, I'm like,
I have no idea.
I'm like, well, what the fuck do I care? It's 50 years from now. I don't give a fuck, you know? It's the last thing on my fucking mind, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, just fill it out. And I'm like, but I don't know what to do. He says, don't worry, just sign it right here. Just sign. I'll fill it out. And I'm like, well, I mean, but the deal is, he's a great guy, extremely intelligent, extremely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I trusted him or whatever. Yeah. So I just signed it, whatever. Yeah. He filled it. I didn't even know what was in all. I mean, that's where it started. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that, for him doing that, not against my wishes, but against my stupidity, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd have been way fucking less than what I got now. Way. And because they say if like an 18, if you turn 18,
yeah,
and the day you turn 18, you put $1,000 in. This is what they say. This is the way they explained it to me anyway. If you put $1,000 in the day you turn 18 and never put one more dollar in, right? And then wait until retirement. And then if you're 30 years old, I think at 30 or 35, and you put $10,000 a year in every year until retirement, the one at 18 is going to end up with more money.
Holy shit.
Because of compound interest.
Nice.
That's the, and it probably, so starting extremely early is ideal. So anybody that, if they offer it at your job, and it's free money.
Yeah.
The deal is, if they offer it at your job, take
what is it called?
The 401k, and there's two different. There's a 401k, that's it, and then there's a 401k-R.
Yeah.
Right? That's more of a Roth. Preferably, you guys do what you want. I took the Roth because one's before taxes, one's after taxes. Well, before taxes, when you pull your money out at retirement, they tax it. But if you tax it before, then you're supposed to be able to pull it out. That's your money without being taxed.
Yeah.
So, it's
and if your job doesn't offer it, like, where the hell would you go to get one of those?
You get to get a 401k. I don't know if you can get a 401k other than through an employer, but you can do the same thing. Go to some financial advisor. You see them all. I don't know who exactly, like Charles Schwab, and you know what I mean. There's financial advisors everywhere. You find one, just go in and talk to him, and you can start a mutual fund, which is generally the same, except it's your personal instead of, like a group. The thing that helps, they like the 401ks. People do. There's no match with a mutual fund.
Yeah.
When you put it in, you put in $5,000, and you put in $5,000. That's all you get. But that's why I'm saying it's free money in a 401k. If they offer in your employer, they'll match up to 4% or 6%. Maybe a little higher, but I think 3 to 6 is generally.
I think what I did at my other job is I just matched what they would do, so I was just doubling my money that I was putting in.
Yep, and the deal is generally, at least what I was been told, and what I do is to start off at 10%. Not you put in 10%. Let's say they match dollar for dollar up to 6%, right? So they're putting in 6%.
Yeah,
you're putting in 6. Well, You know what I mean? Technically, that's 12, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So you're already. That's what I'm saying. It's free money.
Yeah.
They won't pay you that, but they pay your paycheck and then they pay your account. You know, so it's free money. It's not like a raise, but it's free money for your retirement, your future.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it.
Definitely.
I mean, leaving it there. I mean, if you go through your entire employment, work there 50 years, and never take advantage of this. Well, yeah, the employers probably they don't want you to do that. I mean, most employers want to pay you that. I mean, they think it's a great thing. But they save 4 to 6% over your entire working lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a benefit to them, but they don't want that. I mean, honestly,
they prefer to give it to you because it's like a charitable thing almost.
Yeah. I mean, every employer I work for, they want you to take that.
I think most places you have to work there for a year now before they offer it.
I think it's a year, and then it takes like 5 years to get fully vested. Okay, yes. So if the fully vested, that means that you get your money that you contributed. If they're putting in 6% and you work there 5 years, you get their 6% fully also. If you decide to move or quit or take your money or whatever the deal is. But if you only work there 3 years, well, then you're only 50% vested. So you only get 50% of the money that they had put in. They're going to retain the rest, which is fair. It's a little bit of a retention thing. Yeah. I mean, they're giving you free money. I mean, and
they're covering themselves from having to pay somebody who doesn't stick it out, Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I get it. I mean, they got to retain people somehow.
And also give you incentive to stay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well. Yeah, to a certain... But everybody, everybody offers about the same thing anymore, but still, that job hopping never does anybody any good.
Not unless you're also hopping from town to town,
Yeah, I mean,
and even then, you can get in with a franchise like McDonald's. Everywhere and just transfer from place to place.
Yeah, but then you're still working with the same company.
Yep.
So you're not job hopping. You're just jumping from
job hopping's stupid. Even if you're town hopping, even if you're hopping around.
That's what I'm saying. A guy that wants to
corporation that's everywhere.
Because you've known people. Everybody does. Where the guy works doing something for 8 months and he's like, oh, that fucking company sucks. They're out to get me, and he goes and works for somebody else for another year, and he's like, oh, that fucking, they were screwing me over, and then and I'm like, a
lot of that comes from not speaking up at the time of whatever it is that irritates them, and letting it build up until you have an explosion of like aggression or foul language or something else that tarnishes your.
And either way,
after that, even if you're a good worker, I mean, you've pissed everybody off.
And a lot of people these days. I see younger, whatever. They don't understand that it doesn't matter what job you have. Even if you're a garbage guy, or you working part time at a gas station, or you know what I mean, or even a factory that whatever, or a processing plant or what, something you wouldn't think is like a huge career, right? Even then, you gotta have some professionalism. You know what I mean? You have to act professional, not just on the job, but the way you communicate with management too. You have to be. You can't just flip out and you got to be professional about it.
Don't ever go to management in the heat of the moment. Wait until you're calmed down and you have thought about what you want to say and how you want to say it.
Yep.
And avoid cursing. Cursing just makes you sound stupid.
And think about what you want to say.
Yeah.
Think about what you want to say and just be clear.
And make sure when you say stuff that, you have a valid, don't just say, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag. No, I don't particularly care for this individual.
To be more specific. They talk to you a certain way when they get upset or something, or throw you an attitude when they get upset, because that's also bad management.
You've never got upset.
spent most of my life upset.
Did you?
Something or else, yeah.
Does that have something to do with being broken?
And probably a little bit.
Probably a little
I mean,
bit.
probably has something to do with it.
Yeah. I got something like that. Fucked up. But it's
You pee crooked. Does it have something to do with you being bent?
yeah. Darn right. Hey, we all know how it is in the morning. It's like where's it gonna go right now? Yeah, we all been there. What the fuck? I mean, come on. Guys all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, other than that, I haven't.
We are slaying the in-studio crowd.
Oh yeah, they're sleeping.
Just
The
murdering.
fucking dog even jumped down. He's like, "Fuck this." He's
They're
I'm so
all-
fucking
you
bored.
guys
I don't want to
can't
do none
see
of it.
this, but just to my right over here, there's two people. There's my girlfriend there
Be
and
snoring
my
here in a minute.
daughter, and they're both sleeping on this couch over here, right next to me.
Yeah,
while
we'll be
we're
hearing
filming this.
chainsaws here in a minute.
And the dog jumped down, Scruffy.
Yeah, he's
jumped
like,
down,
"Fuck
sleeping
this."
on the floor.
It's like
next
you
to
guys
him.
suck.
Like, dude, I don't know, man. Apparently, we're pretty fucking horrible.
I know. We fucking put him to sleep.
This is some
So,
boring.
well,
ass
maybe we should
shit.
promote it as if you wanted a good night's sleep.
Some ASMR.
Yes, play this at a very nice
conversation.
Yes, we will take care of you.
I can't
and
do
you
that
can
shit
sleep
though, because
well.
they do that shit. They turn it up so high that you can hear every movement of their mouth.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's
Oh God, I hate that.
so horrible.
I hate that. I mean, I'm like, there used to be a freaking, I don't know, radio show, some psychologist or whatever,
Yeah.
but she was on there, and yeah, that was her thing. It was before she talked, and I'm like, God damn, just knock it off. It was
Oh, I don't
bad.
remember that one. I
That was
remember
bad.
like Dr. Ruth or whatever, the sex doctor.
Oh, yeah.
People would call.
You
in.
would. You would. All right.
No,
What did you
it was
learn?
An MTV.
What did you
show.
learn?
It was an MTV show,
What'd you learn?
and people would call into this old lady, and they would tell her just the rawest sex stuff. You know, most of the time it was teenagers asking if they had STDs or not, but they would just tell her shit, and she would just real talk, tell them what's up, you know, and it was a huge hit. I think it's where like Dr. Drew got his start.
Oh,
He's got a podcast, all that shit now.
What
So
what did you learn?
I don't know. I was a kid.
No, I know you were a kid, but
Yeah.
you had learned something,
No, I just heard a lot.
or did you just learn not to fucking call some fucking stranger on national
I really
TV?
couldn't understand why these kids would call into a TV show and ask a doctor instead of just making a doctor's appointment and going to
Talking to a real person in
need
private.
Yeah, if you need your parents to make you the doctor's appointment, lie.
Yeah,
Lie about why you need to go and
My-
then tell
my
the
fucking
doctor
little
when
toe
you
hurts.
get there.
yeah. My fucking
Yeah,
little toe.
Fuck, man. I was young, but I still understood embarrassment.
Yeah,
And I didn't get why people would just put themselves through that.
I have no
Oh, this
idea.
is John in
Fort
Cleveland,
Wayne.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Fort Wayne, yeah.
yeah.
And then fucking everybody in that town's like perked up, listening.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, do I know this one? Do
Yeah,
I know
just-
what this is?
And then they start narrowing that shit down. Like, oh, well, this is John from Fort Wayne. You know, I'm
Yeah.
19. Well, okay. Now it really narrows it down. You know, I work as I know that fucking
See him
guy.
outside
You know,
of the sandwich shop or something. You're like, how's the chlamydia, John?
hey, your girlfriend's a hoe because she did this. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. God damn, that was funny.
This is ruining
That
lives.
was
out
fucking
there.
horrible. I can't believe people did that dumb shit.
Yeah.
What other fucking dumb crap? Oh, I went to, like, say we talked earlier, I went to fucking seen that new Twisters,
Twister.
you know, movie. Youngest daughter wanted to go see it. And I liked the original. You know, it was a good movie back then.
Yeah, I love the original. I watched the original quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest, but it was
one
a
of my-
good movie.
One
It
of
was
my
a solid.
favorite VHS tapes.
Yeah, It was a good, solid movie. I liked it, but this one's good too. I mean, it's basically a remake.
Yeah.
So it's the same, but it's obviously not the same. But
It's woke now.
no, not so much. I
No?
mean, they really didn't. They really
Ruin
didn't.
it?
No, they didn't really ruin it.
Oh,
No,
thank God.
it's it actually is pretty good. They I was talking to my daughter about on the way back or whatever, way home
Yeah.
about it or whatever, and we're talking about today's movies. Most of them all rely on all the CG and all the digigal and
Something flashing,
Yeah.
blowing up every.
that's what they
15
rely
seconds.
on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they didn't have that, because there's nothing really
There's
to the
no
movie.
story.
Yeah, there's no story. There's no substance. The actors suck. And
Correct.
but back when the original was made, they had a just starting of it. It was just the beginning, and that was neat. It was really cool. It enhanced the movie.
Yeah.
But the actors were actually really
the
good. It had an
story.
actual good story behind it, an actual purpose to the movie.
Well, there used to be, 20, 30 minutes, sometimes 45 before things really, action stuff really started happening in a movie because it's drawing you in to the characters and the story. Now it introduces you to the character and the story in 10 to 15 minutes and then shit starts popping off. It's just, or shit's popping off as soon as you fucking turn on the screen. And then it introduces you to the characters in a little 5-minute spot in between the next action sequence, dude. And it's,
and then,
I don't give a shit about these people.
no,
I can't even remember their names. Who
and
cares?
the only other movie, well, not the only other one, but the other movie that comes to mind that I actually liked for the most part, and there's only a couple reasons, things I didn't like in it, but was the Top Gun, the new Top Gun.
I haven't seen it. I heard they did shit in real fighter jets and stuff, though.
Yes, and the only thing, like, a great movie, and the actor's great, and it's a good
Tom
movie.
Cruise
it really
is a
is.
good actor, man.
No, he's
I know
good.
he's a crazy.
He's a crazy
Scientology
fucker, man.
dude
But usually
and
the
stuff.
crazy ones are the good ones.
But
I
think he's always been just a really, really good actor. Dude.
he is. Yeah, I haven't ever really seen him in. It's like Tom Hanks. I've never seen him in a movie that was just like
horrible.
shit. I've seen him in. Okay, that wasn't his best, but it was a good movie.
But he did the best he could with what he had. Yeah.
But how many of you seen that? Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks have done just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, iconic movies.
You ever looked up Chet Hanks?
No.
Tom Hanks' son?
Oh no.
Oh man, you're missing a gold mine there, dude.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he's a rapper and all this other stuff, and he got in a whole bunch of trouble a couple years ago because right around the time of the George Floyd stuff, like shortly after that, he came out and tried to hashtag white boy summer.
Oh,
it was going to be
Jesus.
a white boy summer. Yeah, and that went about as well as you can. He tried to switch it to hashtag black queen summer, and that it still just didn't work out. And he promoted the whole thing with like a Jamaican accent thing that he did. Dude, you need to look in. There's some nice videos.
I'm gonna
out
laugh
there.
my ass off.
Oh, that's so
Sounds
good.
like the crackhead videos.
Oh,
fucking
just
make
the
me laugh.
same amount of stupid, and Tom Hanks is so disappointed in his
I bet he
son,
is. I
dude.
mean,
I think at this point they may have disowned him because he ended up in rehab and shit.
oh no.
Yeah,
Well,
he's so terrible.
it was it's I mean, but so many of the kids have went kind of awry. I get it. But the one thing about the Top Gun movie
Yeah,
that I didn't like, and because it's a sequel, right? It's in the future, and it's trying to it has.
Well, yeah, Tom Hanks has aged quite a bit. You can't really put it like it was 2 weeks later.
It's it ties it back into the first one. You know, obviously,
course.
yeah, it's got to be.
Of course. I mean,
But they
duh.
did too much to tie it together. They just kept
they went back like
tying
every
that little.
I never saw it, but the first new like Disney Star Wars movie, they said it was just cameos, cameo after cameo after cameo.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it's this guy. Oh, it's that guy. Oh shit, it's that guy. Oh man, look who it was. Just the whole.
It just seemed
time.
to me it tried to tie it too much back. You know what I mean? And they didn't. They overdid it in my taste. They might not have in most, but in my taste, they overdid it. Just the tie back. I mean, being, you know, the idea of him being this guy is fine, and this person that's fine, but it has to deal with, you know, now you're dealing with this guy from the last movie's kid. And then all this.
Oh yeah, the guy that he accidentally kills or whatever, his kids in this one is fucking an antagonist.
And it ends up being part of the story and stuff. But you'll see what I mean. It just, I don't know. It just
kind of feels forced.
Yeah, it seemed like they just tried to force that they were together too much. You know what I mean? And instead of just letting it flow, if you know, dude, if that makes any sense to you.
People making movies watch this show, and I know you do. Really stop messing up the flow of the movie to worry about like political correctness and
nobody gives a fuck.
Tiebacks and did we represent this right? Stop. Just let the movie flow.
Yeah.
The way the movie's supposed to. I mean, shit, you should know how to do that by now.
And
just look back to everything made in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, and the one thing I did like about the first one that I didn't know when we watched it. You know, because I watched them when I first came out. It was cool as shit, you know, fucking fighter jets, and it was awesome. I mean, you can't go wrong when you talk fighter jets, right? I mean, they're badass. So, when I didn't know it at the time, but you know the first scene, you know, or the first fighter jet encounter, you know, that gets him brought to Top Gun
in the old movie.
In the old movie,
yeah.
You remember the first one, that, you know, deal, whatever. That's an actual event. That actually happened. And then at the end of the movie, where they have to scramble because they're at graduation and all that stuff, that's an actual event. That actually happened. So I was like, that's cool as shit. You know, I'm sure they embellished.
Well,
I'm sure they
made up the name of the country that they go against.
Oh, yeah. But they embellished. I'm sure they exaggerated some stuff, and you know, whatever. Maybe not. Maybe who knows? I'm assuming they did for you know, theatrical movie purposes. Theatrical, you know, whatever. But
dramatic effect.
But it's just cool that they were actual events that happened.
Yeah,
that they were based on real life pilots. You know, American pilots.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, wow, that's fucking cool.
I mean, if you're going to do a movie like that, why not incorporate some real stuff in there a little bit? I mean, just to show respect.
Well, not only that, but
I mean, you're making a movie about them.
Yeah, you're making a movie
realism into it, and plus it helps people who really know stuff like that connect with the movie a little bit more. You know, like they're like, it's excuse me.
You know, when you can put something like that, you watched it in the theaters, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, and seeing it, you're like, whoa, that's fucking cool as shit. Just imagine there was a real guy that did. I mean, they didn't just make that up. I mean, maybe some of it, but you know, the event itself. That pilot's a bad motherfucker. I don't know his name. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, holy shit, there was a guy that fucking was badass. Like, oh fuck.
Quite a few.
Oh, I'm sure.
Over the years.
I'm sure.
Dogfighting is insane.
That it was crazy.
That's what they call when like jets and planes fight in the air, not actual dogfighting, dude.
Don't do. Oh yeah, here we go.
Come on now.
See, that's what we have to do because we just told the movie companies not to do it, but we're going to make sure we're politically correct. And,
you got to
stop the flow of the show. And go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Get it out.
Nowadays you have to, man.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Because there's a bunch of,
You'll have some idiot go, What do you say? Dog fighting.
He's-
And for dude, I don't
he's a-
think that dog fighting is a good thing. You shouldn't have dogs fight each other because that is bad for the dogs. And dogs are nice. Think. It's just virtue signaling.
I even got
bullshit.
a dog sticker on my helmet, and leave
Yeah.
me alone.
I
Yeah,
think
no
that
shit.
bad thing is bad, and you shouldn't do bad things.
Yeah, exactly.
Thumbs up.
Weirdo. But yeah,
It's
it's
called virtue signaling,
Yeah.
where you just point out obvious shit to show that, hey guys, I think the right way, and just
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
yeah. Nobody gives a fuck what your right way.
Yep.
You know. If
Yeah.
I wanted, I would have asked.
Well, it's good
You know?
that you think the correct
Or
way.
what
that
is
you
it- is
should
it today?
think,
Is it
the right
axed?
way? Axed.
Is it axed
I
today?
don't think so.
Is that a today thing?
No.
I hear a lot of people
I
saying
mean,
it.
my kids don't.
I hear a lot of people saying axed.
Yeah.
I axed you something. What?
Mm-mm.
Fuck you did. You come
I
at
don't
me
do
with an
that.
axe, I'll kick the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I
there's
don't
an X
know.
in there.
I know. Well, I know, but people don't pronounce it.
They're mixing it. They're dyslexic. They think it's AKS
Oh,
instead of ASK.
yeah.
X.
There you go.
That's
But,
gotta be it. Solved it.
But Elon Musk, you know, been seeing some things about him or whatever.
He had a rocket that he shot off that blew up, but it was still a success because
Yeah.
it had made it past. All it had to do was make it past the tower, I guess.
Yep.
And it was why was it a success?
I'm not positive exactly on
Was
that.
it a
I'm
new
sure it was.
kind of
Yeah,
rocket
I'm sure it was just
thing?
a test. He just wanted to test ignition or something, you know. But yeah, he's going up to. I guess he's going up to save NASA.
Yeah.
You know, fix all their shit because the government can't fucking get it right, but the private company
Well,
can.
NASA's lost a ton of funding over the years.
Ton of money. I think they spent more on the one spacecraft that they have
Yeah.
than Elon Musk spent on his 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just shows you government. I mean, it's a waste. And there's no.
And they probably didn't spend the money on the actual spaceship. It was probably spent on bureaucratic
Oh, yeah.
fucking bullshit.
There's no, like I say, the government spent some ridiculous, let's say $500 billion on this thing and it doesn't work. Well,
Our
there's
government's a fucking
there's
joke,
no
dude.
accountability for it. You know what I
Everybody
mean?
just
You
makes
can
fun
just
of it.
end up being oops, okay, we'll try it again next year, you know, something like that. Well, a private company, that's different. You know, Elon Musk, he spent $500 billion on something, you know, whatever, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden it don't work. Heads are going to roll. You know what I mean? He's going to lose his company. He's going to lose all his stuff. So yeah, there's accountability for,
Yeah.
you know, but government has no accountability. I mean,
know.
that's, you know, and
NASA
unfortunately,
should just change its name to like an aquatic something and just
Yeah.
explore the oceans. Just stop.
yeah, it's
Stop trying to go deeper into space. Let fucking Elon take that over.
it's
You know, have a division that, like, you know, works with the space station, represents America.
yeah.
You know, works with Elon and stuff, and you know, we still have a representation. Do that. Go ahead, but put all of your attention into like searching aquatic stuff because
I think,
there's so much stuff we don't know about the oceans, and there's
oh yeah.
a large portion of the Earth is underneath
we don't,
there.
we know less about that than we do space.
Yeah,
you know?
well, the space close to us, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, put your time into that instead of
It's
you discover new species every fucking year. It's exciting. It's
and
fun.
then when
You
I
get
think about
funding for it,
when I think about things like that with the, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, you know, even the 80s, 90s, you know, NASA was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? They were doing that shit. What we accomplished is amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
yeah,
When I think about that and versus today, and you know, not supporting anybody one way or the other, but when Trump says "Make America Great Again," That's what I think about. It's like
That-
we were,
exactly.
and we've
That's-
lost
You
it.
know, people born in like
We-
the
yeah,
2000,
we-
like early
we lost
2000s, born in the early, don't have any idea what the fuck he's talking
Yeah,
about.
but we lost
And
it.
they
We were
think-
so
They
amazing.
think he's trying to just make everybody greedy and rich and
No,
things
no,
were
no, no,
horrible
no.
back then. Like, no, you could afford stuff
Yeah,
back
we were
then.
so amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I was fascinated by that
Dude,
stuff.
we
That
were
was
killing it.
Yeah.
Everybody had 2 cars, a house, a garage.
Yeah, but I mean, not only that, I mean,
kids.
we were leading the world into space. We were always the first ones, well, not always the first, but to do things.
And
to,
we had the muscle cars.
Yeah,
and
we had everything.
Yeah.
and it was like we were just, and technology was going so fast and growing, and we were always ahead or above or equal,
Yeah.
to other countries and stuff. And now we're not.
No,
Now we're not.
we're behind.
So I thought we were great. I serious, because I mean, just take NASA for a minute. Man, everybody, when we were doing that stuff in the 80s, 90s, and stuff, everybody respected NASA, man. They were like, this is fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
But now does anybody?
I mean,
there's
they still
some.
have a good program.
Yeah, but-
where they come around and they do things with the kids. They bring this little space station or like spaceship simulator thing, and they park it outside the school for like 2 days, and they take a class of kids and they teach them about stuff like that. But it's to the point to where they have to go around and take it school to school
That's what
because
I'm-
kids are no longer paying to go there.
Yeah, that's what
to
I'm.
go to like camp or stuff
and
like that.
and between that, I mean, I guess the only other difference I could say, and everybody can tell me I'm wrong, but it's my own personal. But I think back then I felt, or the way I seen things was, even if everybody was different and everybody had a different view on stuff, we were still so proud of America, you
Yeah.
know? And so like, even just take the NASA, and their launching and moon travels and, all that stuff, space shuttle. We were so amazed and proud of that national, if we shot up a space shuttle, it was national news. I
Yeah.
mean, they would show it. We would watch it, hear about it for a week ahead of time. We would hear every day or
that was
every
also when
few
you had
days.
to be there at that time to
Yeah.
experience the event. Now you can just experience in your own time whatever the fuck you feel like.
Yeah,
There's
but-
no connection.
But nobody knows. I mean, when's the last time
Nobody
you
gives
heard
a
they were
shit.
going to launch a rocket?
Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
And
Shoot your rocket, space
now
boy.
it's instead of being proud of America and being proud of, our heritage and stuff like that. Not saying other people can't come and others are worse. I mean, there's
It's
nothing
the
wrong with
American
being
dream.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being
Yeah.
proud of what's going on. But now it's just a bunch of bickering and fighting and people wanting to, get a, dick, what is it called, that procedure? Put a dick onto me and then, or take a dick off of me. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I'm like, why the fuck?
Christ.
What?
You're good.
What?
Nothing. You're good, man. You're fine.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, I just, you know what I mean? I don't get it. I mean, why can't we just get back to being proud and just do our thing?
I don't know.
That's what it means, to me, when they say make America great again.
I mean, what other country?
I would love to be
and
back.
what
to that.
other country is doing things like that even remotely allowed or even thought about?
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty big freedom,
Yeah.
and freedom. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to like love the country.
Well, you
and all
got to
that
have,
stuff,
there's a
and other
responsibility.
people have the freedom to fucking not like the
There's
country.
a responsibility when you have freedom.
Yeah.
You can dislike what's going on, but you can't be like disruptive or I don't feel anyway. My personal opinion, being disruptive and being belligerent or nasty or interrupting or
attention seeking.
yeah, any of that. It's not. If you want, you think you're better. Great.
Prove it.
Well, if they do, I mean, they have a different view. Then debate or talk about it or bring it to light and see
Without emotion.
Yeah, I mean, actual facts instead of, well, you hurt my feelings.
Open-minded,
Yeah.
not taking it personal.
Yeah, you hurt my feelings.
Wanting to learn.
How do you defend that?
Wanting to learn instead of wanting to be correct.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, if something I say hurts somebody's feelings, I'm not planning on. That isn't my intention.
Yeah.
But hey, if it hurts your feelings, I mean, what do you want me to do about it? I mean, sorry, but I'm not gonna give it, a quarter second to bother me in the least.
Yeah.
I don't think that, a lot of my views are a little.
A lot of it is people have a lot more free time than they used to, and they're spending it worrying about things that they don't really need to worry about.
I think people
if something gets said by somebody else that offended you, and it's not said directly at you in a hateful manner or derogatorily to you or anything, if it's just said out into the ether and then you hear it and take offense to it, get the fuck over yourself, dude.
It's like, I think people worry about way too much stuff, period.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why people worry. Because it does absolutely no good.
Well, it's instinctual to worry a little bit.
Well,
worry and anxiety are good things.
To an extent,
small doses,
yeah, to an
extent, as long as you keep them under control by accomplishing. The thing is when you have anxiety and stuff, you're supposed to then
figure it out.
Take care of what is giving you that,
yeah,
and then move on. And nowadays, people just distract themselves with screens and bullshit because there's a million ways to just ignore everything.
Well, yeah, it's
it's easier to do that. It's easier to lay on the couch and flip through YouTube or whatever else or TikTok than it is to get up and go deal with the problem, which most of the time would take probably 10, 15 minutes. And people just don't want
and it's over with.
Yeah, people just
they don't have to fucking deal with it anymore.
And then if you don't want to for a couple of months, well, now you got 40 fucking things that need 10 or 15 minutes to do.
Well,
now it seems like
for me.
Now it seems like this insurmountable mountain of shit. How could you ever take care? Where would you even begin?
Well, yeah, but you take
and now
like worrying. For me.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's a problem, I'm not like, oh, yeah, I'm worried. What am I going to do?
Well, no, it starts out small.
And then, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit and worry about it. If there's something that comes up, boom, okay. Now how do I fix it?
Yeah, you're not a procrastinator.
No, but I just figure it out. I mean, it's like everybody could, well, what happens if a house catches on fire? And people worry about that shit. Why? There ain't goddamn thing you can do about it other than being safe.
Well, buy your smoke detectors.
Yeah, buy your smoke detectors. Make sure you got insurance. Make sure you got a plan. Make sure you do everything you can. Yeah, everything you can do. That's
exit plan in a meeting spot.
Everything you can do to be safe and not allow it to happen. But there's nothing you can do about it.
You can just be ready. But the thing is,
it could happen at any time for any reason.
Okay, the thing with people who have anxiety is that they're always in that state. Where you're waiting for like shit to happen, shit to go down. We're stuck there.
But everybody has anxiety.
Yeah. I just don't process it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I do.
I let it build up over years by the way I was being treated by people. And never saying anything, bitching amongst my friends and myself, saying things when people left the room instead, and eventually I started having panic attacks because I was just being shit on by everybody who had a major role in my life. Like the girl I was with at the time, she'd slap the fuck out of me if she didn't like what I said.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And I just wouldn't do anything. I just sit there and wait for her to be done and then move on to what I was doing.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't ever.
Yeah, and it eventually that built up into panic attacks, and now it kind of fucked my brain up a little bit because now I know how that feels, and I can't get myself back out of that.
Okay,
You know?
so I mean, okay, understandable a little bit. Let's say, you kind of
Yeah.
okay. Now you got a 14-year-old boy that has crippling anxiety. What the fuck's he ever been through?
Shut off the video games and
He's never
take them
been through
outside.
anything.
They don't socialize with everybody anymore. You're not forced into social settings where you learn how to deal with stressful situations and people who disagree with you or think different. You can go into your little rabbit hole online and go to where people think exactly like you do, and you don't have to grow or change
That's a
as a
waste.
person.
It's a waste of time.
And then the thought of going out and being stuck in these situations where you will have to defend your way of thinking to somebody who doesn't, become so stressful that people just don't leave their house.
Oh my God, that's crazy. They
It's,
can't. I mean, I think the internet's great. I guess great things always have downfalls. You know what I mean? I get that.
Mhm.
And the internet's a great thing. I think it's fucking.
Yeah, but
I think it's moved us forward in ways that are amazing. But
at the same time,
at the same time, I think everybody's adding on. They didn't see all these repercussions.
it was like handing a monkey a machine gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be honest. Yeah, I kind of see that. That on another point, I think that a lot of people take advantage of the situation also and say, "Oh,
well, they
I
use
have
it for
this."
political view, aspirations.
Well, not only that, I think most of the younger generation is, well, all their friends have it, so they have it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have it, they just have it.
Well, if you don't have it, you're a fucking outcast. Weird. You don't have that.
Yeah, you don't have that. Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you? So it's like all my friends. I was like, I don't get it. I don't.
I'm a firm believer that because we have problems with shootings and stuff in America, and everybody.
Yeah, we just had that other one. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that we don't have a gun problem in America. We have
a
mental health epidemic in America. We closed down all the mental health facilities in like the 50s.
Yep.
We used to have the white van that would drive around and fucking two guys would get out and they'd go, hey, buddy, what are you doing? You've been out here screaming at that tree for fucking 2 hours now. We're getting some phone calls. We're going to take you down to our place and have a professional talk to you and see if we can get you diagnosed, and do it without the barbaric treatment that ended up getting those closed down. Yep. But you could set up that same fucking system today and clean up the homeless problem, all the shooting epidemics, the drug problem in fucking Kensington Street in Philadelphia. I mean, you could clean all that shit up.
Yep.
With these facilities and this stuff, but all that money just keeps going into people's pockets to fix the homeless problem, and they're not doing anything.
I think there's a lot. I mean, money needs to be
accounted for.
Yeah, redirected and accounted for. And there's, like I say, you're always, the bigger the government gets.
Well, we need to start
there's always a portion.
Accountable.
Yeah, but the government's the only one that can hold them accountable, because we rely on. To hold people accountable, we rely on law enforcement or journalism, things like. Well, they are the law enforcement. You know what I mean? They're government. That's the government.
Yeah,
they control all that, so they're not going to investigate themselves. I mean, even when they do, they find, I don't know nothing. Yeah, I mean, fuck, you don't
go on strike,
but
unionize,
but. Then you go to like the journalism, they used to hold them accountable. We had, what was that? Whitewater. No, not Whitewater, but Watergate. There you go. You know what I mean? That helped. I'm 100%. I thought that was great.
Now, if you try and do that, they'll just shut you down.
Yeah, they don't want nothing to do with it now.
Government will come in and just shut you.
Exactly.
It's kind of tyrannical compared to how it used to be.
It's getting bad.
And nobody's saying anything about it.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Yeah.
I don't really like the direction that we've been going the last, 15, 20, it's not something that I see it has a great future to it.
Since 9/11, shit took a hard turn.
It did. But, you know,
The patriotism that came out of 9/11 was cool.
Yep.
The racism that came out of it was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
The Patriot Act was, I mean, they raped America.
They did. They did. But I think that, I mean,
they basically
I have a little.
They can do whatever.
I had a little bit of understanding. You know what I mean? Because
at the time,
what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? I mean, the government, this happened, and they did. They blanketed and went overboard about everything and got it done. And, you know, but the deal is I get that happens sometimes, you know, and I could see that because they're just trying to protect not just a portion, but trying to protect everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. After a year, that's where they should have. That's where I was hoping and still do that after like a year they can discuss things and say, okay, we don't need to be doing this. Okay, we're going to take this out of it. And then a year or two later, okay, a couple other things. We don't need it. Now we've got the basic of what we need, you know, instead of, yeah, we went too far, but we corrected it. We had to have the time for the country to settle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, great. You know, and then
I think they saw it as an opportunity to push through
more power.
Whole bunch of shit that they've wanted to do for years. And
same with COVID.
Shoved it fucking right through.
The exact same thing when it come to COVID and all the spending.
All they needed to do after 9/11 is make it mandatory that like the CIA, FBI, NSA, all that shit communicated with each other, because that's all that happened. This group had this information, this group had this information, and this group had this information, and none of them knew that they had information that was tied to each other, and it allowed that shit to happen.
Oh, yeah, but
because they were all trying to figure it out themselves so that, oh, we got it, we did it. And instead, they should be forced to work together more than what they were. That fixes the whole fucking thing. There's no need for all this added bullshit.
But there's too much political bullshit going on in these things. There should be none. No. I mean, one prime example, the assassination attempt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that might as well have not happened now.
Yeah, the Secret Service. We just have no. We don't the FBI investigated it. The Secret Service, but they're like, yeah, we just don't know.
The equivalent of.
Are you fucking crazy? Because if you screwed up, screwed up, they would know everything you and every one of your friends did in 24 hours. But they can't tell us anything about this.
A couple people
they're so full of fucking shit.
Now.
They're so full of shit. Their eyes are brown.
They tried to kill the fucking president of a former president of the United States.
Exactly.
Our government tried to kill a former president of the United States, or at the very least allow it to happen.
Yep.
And it's totally fine. It's fucking what a joke, dude.
It was bad. It was bad.
Fucking guys like Putin and shit like that got their feet kicked up, fucking just chilling, watching the fucking show, dude.
Laughing, just wondering how fucking
show.
Look at these fucking clowns, you know? They're saying I'm bad, and these guys can't even fucking do anything, right? Look at this fucking
can't
joke.
Even organize their own stuff. Can't even call out their own government.
And I'm not.
But
I'm not saying
and try and call out the whole world.
And I'm not saying one's great and the other's horrible. You know,
I prefer Trump.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not saying
Harris. I don't think that he's the best choice. But
whatever the cackle is, you know, Jesus fucking Christ.
I think he's a better choice than somebody who can't stick to their fucking.
Well, both of them have proven track records, right? Trump, he was in office already. He was, did his thing. How was life during it? Yeah, it was better than what it is now.
Better,
right? Okay. Harris has been in, for what, 3.5 years?
The only thing that people say about Trump is he's a dick. That's it.
Well, yeah, he could close his mouth and make himself a little heavier, but goddamn.
You can't prove he's a racist.
Oh, they say it though, but he's not.
Black people since the fucking 70s. He's hired and worked with black people since the 70s. You can't call him fucking racist, dude.
And the only one that really understands workers and things like that, and everybody's like, oh, I'm sure everybody's going to scream.
Yeah.
But the only people that really understand workers out of all the candidates, Trump. Yeah. Trump has to make payroll. He had to make payroll for the last, 50 years?
Mhm.
He had to pay his workers.
Yep.
He had to do what he had to do to make his workers stay working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And keep them and
he
keep
risked
good
it,
people.
He risked it all.
These other ones, they've
times,
never
too.
made a payroll in their life. They've always had a government check. Always. In one way or another, they've never had to worry about anybody and meet a bottom line,
And
because
I'm sorry,
the government
just
if they don't make the bottom line,
regular people. I don't feel like the other side in a room like this, sitting talking to each other, I don't feel like they could hold a conversation with us that would make any fucking sense.
Because the deal is just they've never had to deal with it. Put it this way,
they just patronize us.
Like you own if you own a business, right? Or even if you don't, you have to make, when you're at home, you have to, the money only goes so far, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, you just got to say no.
You have to budget.
Right? Yeah, you got to know.
We can do this. We can't do that.
The other ones have lived off government their entire life, right? And anytime government runs out of money, what do? Print more.
They just get more.
Yeah, they just will ask for more, we'll print more.
Yeah.
They don't ever have a budget. They have a budget, but they don't
blow
ever.
it out of the fucking
they don't
water
ever
every
follow it. They just
blow it out of the water on purpose, so then they can go next year. They can go.
I need more money.
We need more than that.
Because it's just a guideline. You know, it's just like, this is what we're saying we're spending as a guideline for this. You know, but what, you know, we could go into political stuff forever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
and
but
ever
that's
and ever.
what fucking news does all day. So
Yeah.
we should avoid that shit.
Yeah.
I know. We dip into it. I can't help it. It's part of life.
Oh, it is, especially when the election year. I mean, it's gonna be a topic. So
I know.
it's gonna come.
It's gonna ruin my birthday, dude.
It's gonna ruin it. Well, because you know you've ruined your birthday a time or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be November 7th is my birthday, and fucking all anybody's gonna be talking about President this, President that.
They ain't gonna be saying Broken's fucking awesome.
I'm not gonna be saying fucking happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Broken. They ain't gonna be saying that. We're gonna be like, President
They're
this,
gonna be like,
fuck
"Oh, I
that
can't wait
president.
for
My birthday.
Thanksgiving and fucking football this and fucking.
You know, maybe you could write a letter to, you know, to one of them, and they could say, hey, this is, you know, I've been elected. You know, yeah, I've been elected, and thanks to Broken.
Yeah.
And happy birthday, Broken.
I am gonna vote. I did register to vote.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got your pen ready?
I imagine they'll have one, but on the day I'll probably carry one.
I think it's probably digital anymore. I mean,
yeah, touchscreen.
Yeah. Well,
That way they can change it.
small town America, I think there's.
If I touch a button and a different button clicks, I'm gonna smash the fucking machine.
The thing is it won't. But I've heard conspiracy theories one way or
I've
the
heard
other.
that, but like that, if that happened to me personally, I would smash the fucking machine because I'm not gonna allow that to continue happening.
Well, the thing is, they're all linked together. So if one's doing it, all of them are.
Well, fuck. At least I'll take one down.
Yeah.
I would imagine I could get to another one before they stop me.
Yeah. But we better get the heck out of here.
Yep.
We've been running.
Too much time, your ribs are gonna burn.
And oh yeah, I gotta
You
get out
don't
there.
have some dry
I got
ass
I'm not.
ribs.
I'm gonna give me some ribs. No, I got some freaking pineapple juice in there. Kind of got them to, you know, kind of the acidity to kind of tear them apart a little bit, and a bunch of butter and brown sugar, and yeah, I got it dialed up. I got her looking good. So, but well, this is Bent. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. I just, you know, hopefully the two of you guys watching this appreciate it.
What
You know,
is there two?
I'm being positive.
All right.
I'm trying to like, what is that? When you just like, you try and speak it into existence, you know, manifest. There you go.
There you go.
Woo! They're awake now.
Then Scruffy's the only one gonna be watching this.
Yeah, but you know,
That's only when you're gone, where he can see
he
you
likes
and
to
be
hear my
happy.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's a big fan.
that's the only thing. But yeah,
All right. Thanks for watching, people. See you later.
next time.